technology. I have the power to control your mind.
Do not adjust your TV sets. You're not looking at a primitive version of NetherRealm's Injustice franchise. Nope, this is Justice League Task Force, published by Sunsoft. Came out in 1995 for both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. I took a look at this on the Sega Genesis, and it's my latest in my 16-bit superhero lineup. I've been looking at all kinds of classic superhero video games because I've always loved superhero video games, and I'm just filling in my library, collecting these carts and taking a look at these titles. Now, I've had Justice League Task Force since I think this was sent to us. I think it was probably sent to us for review back in 1995. I don't remember buying it, but I've always been a big fan of superheroes, so it's possible that I bought this sucker. And I played it over the years, but it's definitely not only a primitive-looking version of what Injustice became, but it's also a primitive fighter. You do play as some pretty incredible marquee superheroes and supervillains from the DC universe. Of course, Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. You've got Aquaman in there and Green Arrow in there. You're facing against characters like Darkseid and Despero and Cheetah. It's got a story even. This is a game where you're choosing a character from the Justice League and you find yourself fighting against one of your allies, and then you realize that, wait a second, something's not quite right with this, and you eventually uncover the fact that Darkseid is behind all of this stuff. And then you got to defeat him after you've visited location after location. So you're in Atlantis, you're in Gotham City and Metropolis. You see the whole pantheon of cool different spaces and characters that you would find in the DC universe, which is pretty damn cool. Then, of course, you can get into some battles against a computer or battles against a human opponent, playing as any one of these different characters. And it's fun, even though it's incredibly crude and choppy. The special attacks are not as special as you would want them to be. They don't have anything like the mesmerizing cut sequences that you would find in Injustice, but there's still a charm to this game. It's still fun to revisit it. It's still fun to kind of play it in sort of this modern setting. It's cool to see Superman with his giant mullet. I actually like the artwork that they've got with Batman. It's so evocative of kind of the 70s and 80s Jim Aparo style Batman, which I kind of dig. I love the retroness of it all. Wonder Woman's costume. I like the goatee on Green Arrow. You know, like, it's fun to kind of have this as a connection to days gone by, you know, in a simpler time with these DC superheroes. It's not going to blow your mind with its gameplay. You're mostly going to be laughing at it because it's so clunky and so rudimentary to play, but it still has its charms, for sure. It still will put a smile on your face if you're a superhero fanatic like I am. I think it's worth the pickup. I honestly do. I haven't played the Super Nintendo version, so I can't really do a comparison of which cartridge is more worth your time or your money, but I'm glad that I have Justice League Task Force in my collection. I will still go back to it and play it from time to time. It certainly makes me smile. I'm going to give Justice League Task Force a 7 out of 10.